Hey guys, Richard at Writing's Room here, doing my latest book reviews. This time is for the two in one, the two Medstar books. First one, Battle Surgeons, and then the second one, Jedi Healer. So yeah, both quite different covers. More action, more not action, and of course doesn't look so great on the shelf. But you can see the legend strip on this one and not on this one. So it's not that big a deal. Who's seen my vids before? They're all over the place. They don't really matter. I just bought them both new. This is what I got, and that's why I'm not all that bothered about getting them with or without the Legends print on. It's fine. Although what is odd is that they're both the exact same number of pages, well, more or less, one or two out, and clearly number one is thinner. Maybe it's just the printing on it or something. I don't know, but yeah, otherwise they're exactly the same. So basically, spoilers for this. So spoilers for the Clone Wars, like the original Clone Wars project from 2000s and early 2000s, and the Clone Wars, the whole CGI era one where things were different, more episodes, more characters, etc. So yeah, plenty of spoilers for that as well as just the film era. So let's get to it. So basically, this is being compared to MASH. Can't disagree with that. It's very focused. Basically, Sophie is a healer as well as a soldier. And yeah, her skill is like healing injuries. It comes up in the book The Approaching Storm, which I don't have anymore, otherwise I'd have that with me. And this is kind of her specialty. And there was another Star Wars book which said it was like similar to something else. Oh yeah, X-Wing people say is basically Star Wars Top Gun, which is true, and this is basically Star Wars MASH. So yeah, so it's basically both stories set on some small planet. I don't think they're quite close to each other setting wise, but it's basically this planet which got this key like drug in there / plant, which is like really valuable. The Separatists, of course, you want it, but they can't just bomb the planet, and the Republic will likewise have to protect it at all costs, but they can't like just mine it completely within sort of in the Empire would do, I'm sure, but they don't. Yeah, it's just very valuable, and the story is basically Barriss, as the Jedi in charge, helping a group of injured clones. And the main thing I liked about this is Star Wars is very tame. Yeah, there's deaths, but when there's like gunshots, they're kind of just like they're like injured, as in I suppose just knocked back or killed. This actually focuses on what happens in war, like when Separatists throw grenades and they go off and they tear someone's arm off, for example, or now gunshot hits them in the arm, and although like lightsabers, they're just quite energy weapons. They are, I imagine, they're like hot like lightsabers to like seal the wounds quickly, etc. You see that won't always happen. Someone can get like a leg blown off for a grenade, the gunshot can hit their arm and just permanently damage it. And there's just a lot of focus on that, like realistic war injuries, which I really like from this, because yeah, it shows that more maturity to Star Wars, and also more brutal. Like yeah, there are injuries, and also a major fact, like the Republic have got a clone army. It's like they're not killing any people except for the species that are like soldiers themselves, I guess. For example, there's a random pair of Clone Wars episodes in both eras where Mon Calamari fighting Quarrens, and yeah, apparently Quarrens are killed in that by Jedi and Republic troops. By just fighting droids, it kind of makes Republic and Jedi look better. They're not killing anyone, but who cares if a droid just gets like damaged? When human soldiers get damaged, it takes a lot to get them back, and yeah, the droids can like do very shady tactics, hit and run, plant bombs, etc. Just like injure half the Republic army, they're going to win, because that's half the army that can't fight. Droids can get up after an injury, and if not, well, you can just build more. That's not the case with the clones, and yeah, they've never been 100% clear on how many there are. I mean, some Karen Travis' books mentioned like 3 million, which is way too low. Episode 2 mentioned like a few million ready to ship out immediately, and then they had more units, but the units, there's no way they were like 1 unit equals 1 soldier. But yeah, because how big the Star Wars galaxy is, you're looking at like probably at least 100 million. Which I don't know how the hell they did that in 10 years' time, how big is Camino's planet and how much services they got to do it. But yeah, this book, you see how brutal war is, how many clones and have been like really badly injured. And yeah, big thing Barriss has to do is like use their Jedi powers to help. And of course, you've got more traditional medicine as well. One of the main characters, his name was Joss. He's I should say, I think it was a few months ago I read this. Same for the Padme young adult books, which will be getting reviewed soon. They're on the Power Behind Dark Plagues, which is a good little light absorber. Soon this room will be a bedroom, and there'll be curtains up, so there'll be no more light getting in. I should put them up, really. So yeah, back to this. You've got more traditional medicine as well as Jedi powers. You've got droids still attacking nearby, and the main plot is that Barriss, is a good Jedi. There's like moment of temptations of the dark side. Like it turns out the medical plant / drug they want has some very drug-like powers, and it kind of enhances her skills massively. And it feels like it's in a way, a dark side metaphor, but it can also be used for healing. It's considered like wrong to use, but the main characters use it anyway to help people because it's needed. So yeah, it's a good story. There's not a huge amount to say really. Basically, it's all about Barriss helping. In the end, it all gets ruined. Enough damage to the planet causes the drugs to mutate. There's like the usual bad guys. There's the good guys. There's like relationships going. Yeah, it's not really a huge amount to say without really giving too much away. I'll kind of get to the end of it, focus on the next part. This is why I said there'll be spoilers for the Clone Wars as well. So, anyone who's seen this will be seeing it to the end, rather, like Series 5, will be aware of what happened to Barriss. So, first of all, the original canon / timeline. Barriss is Luminar's apprentice. I don't know exactly what the ages are, but correctly, Barriss was Luminar's closer to Qui-Gon's age, while Barriss is closer to sorry, no, scrap that. I'm thinking way too far back. Approaching Storm, not on for episode 2. I think it's like less than a year. Luminar is closer to Obi-Wan's age, while Barriss is closer to Anakin's age. And yeah, there's like no real traces of like the dark side in Barriss whatsoever. She's a Jedi healer, she's a generally good person, and she's presumably killed with everyone else during Order 66 later. So in the new canon, the ones that these are part of, Barriss has definitely aged down a bit. Seeing as they gave Anakin an apprentice, Barriss is more Ahsoka's age, which is like 14, 15. 14, 15 by the point of Series 5 here, Clone Wars anyway. Well, Luminar is older, but still close, more Anakin's age than. I don't know if she's been de-aged, but Barriss definitely was to make her more Ahsoka's age to basically have the betrayal sting harder. Basically, Barriss becomes disillusioned with the war, convinced the Jedi are like not serving like the good of the people anymore. She's like, and they're basically serving the dark side. So Barriss, taken by the dark side, bombs the temple as a protest, killing a bunch of people, and then personally murders the one witness and makes it look like it's Ahsoka who does it, and then basically disappears. Anakin, the only one in the Jedi Council, who sets out to prove Ahsoka's innocence, and it turns out they managed to prove what Barriss has done. Barriss, takes vengeance with lightsabers, because red suits her. Like Anakin says, you should have got rid of them, and forces a confession, and she does admit it's just her. So in the Clone Wars, Barriss turns to evil. And I'm going to put a spoiler in for Tales of the Empire. That's the new show. So anyone who's not seen it, stop watching this vid because I'm going to spoil it. It's basically answered the big question, what happened to Barriss? Because there's enough hints through The Mandalorian that Barriss was, was she in the Jedi Temple at the time, even though she was a prisoner? Was she in the Senate building? Where was she when the Order 66 got issued? And we found out, and then the new show Tales of the Empire confirmed it. She was like in Republic Prison, not the Jedi Temple. And because she's no longer a Jedi, she therefore doesn't get killed, which I never thought made much sense because, again, like I said, spoilers for Clone Wars, so Clone Wars final episode. They decided to kill a captured Darth Maul because he's not a Jedi, but he's a Force user and it's easier to kill him because, Darth Maul's exceptionally dangerous. And then likewise, they act like Rex acts like Ahsoka's his prisoner and she left the Jedi Order, therefore she's safe. Like, the gun's like, nah, she's got to die anyway. You think of the same thing? They're like, nah, good thing you're no longer a Jedi. And she gets given the chance to join the Inquisitors, which I thought never made any sense because she maybe turns to the dark side in the sense that she didn't like what the Jedi became part of the war. But would that translate to her wanting to kill every Jedi, like nearly 10,000 of them? No way. She joins the Inquisitors, but it never seems like her heart's in it, and turns on them. Thank God. By the end, she's gone back to the Jedi healer story, which is great, but the damage was done. I really hated the things they did to Barriss. I'm not the only one. It's really bad. Again, this is like, what Dave Filoni does is take parts of the EU and then either copies them. Like, there is a reference to Shakti protecting Palpatine during Clone Wars Season 7, which matches with Labyrinth Evil and the 2003 to 5 Clone Wars. But then he'll change something else, like Yaddle's death from the Jedi Quest books, where she dies, I think, saving Obi-Wan and Anakin. They turn out to have her be basically Dooku's sacrifice and sent to the dark side. As the answer to spoilers for Tales of the Empire, it's part 2. I'm assuming you've seen Tales of the Jedi there, so that's that was a given, I think. Yeah, they're just changing things around or keeping them the same. Very rarely does keep them the same. E.g. something happens in Bad Batch Episode 1, which is basically Clone Wars Series 8. And Barriss is just another victim of, hey, let's take a character everyone knows and likes and change her around for no reason. So yeah, basically a big part of this is, why did they do that to Barriss in the Clone Wars? So yeah, I have no idea. I mean, there's a great Jedi villain called Pong Krell. Never heard of him. He's, the only thing we really got is that, close to anything before that is his same species as the guy runs the diner, Dexter's Diner, in Episode 2. That's it. And he's very memorable. I remember watching a YouTube vid battle of the villains, and the slogan was, the best villain you never heard of. And it's true, like, could have done with anybody. It had to be Barriss. I really, really hated that decision. But yeah, at least by the end, she's back to her Jedi healer stage. But even does she survive it or not? I kind of hope not, because they've gone way to code away with these Jedi that survive the Order 66 and what happens later. But yeah, damage was done to Barriss, and it was really, really wrong. So yeah, that's kind of it. I'm not a fan of the direction they took Barriss in for the new ones, because again, it could be anybody. It's like what I've said about Darth Maul. As good as Darth Maul is in the Clone Wars, anyone could have done that. There's plenty of people who want revenge against the Jedi, or Obi-Wan in particular, for certain things. And why did it be him? It cheapens death. But anyway, that's it. So yeah, I know I've not really said too much about this, but it's definitely a really good set of stories. It goes quite nicely in alongside Shatterpoint and Yoda Dark Rendezvous. So yeah, that's it. Definitely recommend giving it a go. 300 pages. It's pretty short. It flows at a good pace. Nice bit of action. A lot of focus on personal conflicts and stuff. A lot of focus on the other characters as well, which I said harmed the Yoda book, but I don't think it harms here, mainly because you want as much Yoda as possible. That's not so much the case with Minor Jedi. But yeah, definitely recommend it. Can't really fault the book. It's good. Pair of stories, well worth a read if you're enjoying this. It's also, especially if you want to know what characters like Barriss were like before she got Filoni'd. But yes, that's it. So next time it will be these. I just need to have a refresher of all the characters in there. Yeah, I should have done these reviews ages ago, but that's it. And then soon enough, I'll be, as I've just started reading earlier, Heir to the Empire 1, Heir to the Empire, Thrawn Trilogy 1. So I'm sure those will be up soon, as that's what got me back in Star Wars, like particularly post OT EU a few years back. But yeah, enjoy this, and I'll see you next time.